Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We are celebrating the 20th anniversary, I should say the 20th season of Wildin' Out. We have Chico Bean and Justina Valentine here. And let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, Justina again.
What's
and
up,
Chico
Tez?
Good morning, honey.
You're looking even more gorgeous
Amazing.
today.
Thank you, honey. So are
sitting
you?
in the iCloud. I ain't never seen that background.
Well, let's jump right into it. Hollywood is shutting down. Actors going on strike right now. That's the actors and the writers.
Yeah, it's going down in Hollywood. The Hollywood Actors Union began to strike at midnight Thursday after negotiations to reach a new contract with production studios ended without an agreement. Now, actors will join writers in the first industry-wide walkout for 63 years. They said the last time this happened, guys, Marilyn Monroe was alive, and I believe they said Ronald Reagan was the president at the time, or the president of, I guess, the union. But it effectively brings the giant movie and television business to a halt. The Screen Actors Guild issued a strike order after the last-ditch talks with studios on their demands over dwindling pay, and the threat posed by artificial intelligence ended without a deal. Now, the president of the guild said that this is a moment in history, a moment in truth. If we do not stand tall right now, we are going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines and big business.
He's absolutely right. I'm part of the WGA and SAG, and I don't see how this ends well because these studios aren't making any concessions in regards to AI. But what I don't understand is, why aren't they letting SAG-AFTRA members make money during the actor strike? Like, they can't do tours, they can't do personal appearances, they can't do interviews, they can't do conventions, fan expos, festivals, for your consideration events, panels, podcast appearances, and social media.
Nothing.
How you gonna make money? That's how most people make money on the side. That has nothing to do with Hollywood.
Right.
So I don't understand why SAG-AFTRA members won't allow the actors to do that during the strike.
Well,
I don't think they want anybody to make money. I don't think they want anybody to make money off of actors, because all those things that you name need talent. Like, you know, a lot of these podcasts need these interviews. A lot of these panels need these talents.
What about actors who host their own podcast? There's actors who host their own podcast now. Like, that's how they make extra money when they're not, shooting their shows or shooting their films. I don't understand that one.
Get some bracelets.
But what happens?
Get some bracelets, baby. Get start running with them bracelets, but we got bracelets for sale.
But I was gonna ask, so what happens to Hollywood now? What happens? Do they stop making movies? Like, you know?
Oh yeah.
I feel like I know what's going to happen. I don't know if you remember. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last time they had a big strike like this is when reality TV boomed.
Absolutely.
So, anything that's not scripted, anything that you don't need anybody to write on, or, people who
To
are
act.
sad, to act, that's what I think we're going to see a lot more. Tubi movies, baby. Tubi is about to blow up.
I've been
Well,
saying,
let me answer.
Go ahead, Tess.
Let me answer your question on that, because you are right about the reality show, but the actors, this is the first time, that they have been on strike. And so what they're saying is going to happen is, or the first strike in a very long time where you have both in 63 years. Obviously, reality TV wasn't going on then. So what they're telling everybody is to expect preventing actors from promoting some of the year's biggest release. There's also going to stop, summer blockbuster movies from happening. Major film releases could be postponed as well. But to your point, Chico, it is going to at least allow the unscripted, content to have a boost. But the problem, I want to make sure the listeners understanding what they're even demanding. The union is demanding higher compensation, mandates to limit the use of artificial intelligence in the industry. They're also asking, they're making a point to say the rise of streaming and economic inflation has lowered member wages. So when you have the streaming down and they're not able to make that money and they're not getting residuals and royalties, that is what is affecting this strike. And so those are the things that they're demanding.
Oh yeah, they're striking for all the right reasons. I just don't know how this ends well. And to Chico's point, he's absolutely right. It's going to be the unscripted content that ends up booming. The stuff like what we're doing right now with BET, or the stuff 85 South Show did with Netflix. Like, Wildin' Out, y'all about to shoot 10 more seasons in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
All the way.
Will they be allowed
But then how does that work, though, if you're saying more stuff on Netflix and the streaming? Because that's being affected.
Unscripted content.
But even with unscripted,
actors,
we are still SAG-AFTRA.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Right.
we won't be able to work on that side. If it was just a writer strike, then we wouldn't be affected on the talent side of it. But since the talent and the writers on strike, then it's, Tubi, baby. We about to make some Tubi movies.
I don't know if that affects unscripted content. The SAG after strike. I don't know.
I mean, if you SAG, I know Wild 'N Out is
technically
SAG.
an actor. That's not acting.
I mean, but it's SAG,
But we're still unscripted though.
But they always have the SAG people come on set when we're there. You know what I mean? And we have to pay SAG after fees to be on set.
Yeah.
I'm SAG after.
I am as
and
well.
I'm part of the WGA.
But I was going to ask,
and
but
you part of the Waving Wood Association. The one if they going on strike.
I
was
going to ask, even if you are an actor, right, and you're part of SAG, can you still do unscripted? Because you're still on TV.
That's
you're still,
I think you can, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because does that mean that you're crossing the line? Because let's say you are an actor, but say, you know what, all right, I'm going to do a reality show to make money. But it's kind of like you're crossing the line.
But that's why I said it makes no sense to me anyway, with the fact that they won't allow SAG-AFTRA members to do tours, personal appearances, interviews, podcast appearances, social media, for your consideration events, fan expos.
Right.
That's how people make money on the side. So y'all supposed to just starve?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Chico, what about, the people that work on the show? You guys are talking about the actors, but what about the other people that work on the show? Is that going to prevent the show?
They don't got nothing to shoot.
Yeah, they won't have anything to shoot. And then the time that we shoot, like even if we go overtime, you know how they always get on us about going overtime and how much it costs and all of that. All of that is regulated. So I think that's the benefit of having the unions is to make sure that everybody's taken care of. But when it's strike, it's so dangerous for you to cross that picket line because once it's over with, you might not be able to cross back over.
Right.
You know what's going to end up happening too? A couple of writers are going to cross the picket line, and they're going to shrink these writers' rooms. So it's not going to be 10 people in the writers' room no more. It's going to be 2 in AI.
Wow. All right.
Watch.
Yeah.
Well, that's front page news. All right. When we come back, I know, Tez, we wanted to talk about cocaine, but we'll do that next in a little bit.
Yes.
Why are y'all so
you say
excited?
yes like that?
We gotta get the update on the cocaine.
I'm the world's white girls, cocaine.
This is not a part of promotion.
Don't listen, Pierce.
All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Chico, you don't need to put your headphones on.
I was scratching my head. They don't work anyway.
They don't work anyway.
You know what I mean?
Let's get in some front page news. Of course, it's the 20th season of Wild 'N Out, and we got Chico Bean and Justina Valentine here.
Oh, yeah.
And let's get in some front page news with Teslin Figaro. Now, Tez, we teased some cocaine. So let's get right into the cocaine.
We got to get to the cocaine. We followed this story like everybody else last week. Wanted to give an update that the Secret Service was not able to find who brought the cocaine into the White House. So the case remains unsolved. It is now closed. The investigation has concluded with no forensic evidence or video. They're not able to identify the responsible person. They said that this cocaine was in an area that they did not have any video surveillance. It was kind of like in a cubicle. And the White House said that they collected a list of over 500 people. And they said on that list, again, since you can't match any physical evidence up, since there was no one on camera, that it is what it is, the mystery remains unsolved.
Do you mean to tell me that there's a room in the White House with no video cameras? Ain't no damn way.
BS.
Knock it off.
Man, first of all, I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. If they letting people get away with cocaine, let my people out of jail. What is up with that? That's crazy.
Right.
You know how many people have been arrested in the District of Columbia for cocaine and they done found it in the White House and they can't figure out who it is it belonged to? That's crazy, man. That is ridiculous.
I read that they found weed in the White House a couple times in 2022.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, that is amazing, man, that they done locked up all them D.C. residents for cocaine and they done found it in the White House and they can't find who had it in the actual White House.
They done brought the weight
and for clarity, it kind of was like in a cubicle off to the side. So it wasn't like a particular room. They're saying in a vestibule little area. So I guess when people walk past it, the angle of the camera
There had to be somebody that
But to
knew.
your point, it seemed like everything would be covered in the White House.
Yeah, that's somebody that knew that angle.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where they do their cocaine at. That is the spot to do the coke. And
Take a little
somebody
bump and
forgot
keep it
and left
moving.
it, and then they found it, and now they don't know who it belonged to. That's crazy.
They got to find a new spot.
And then they said the funny part is the weed they found during the screenings. Like, so somebody was coming in through the checkpoint. So they said, what kind of people are they letting into the White House that they can found drugs in the White House 3 times already? We see the pictures of who getting in the White House nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Pusha T done been in there. Yo Gotti done been in there.
Snoop Dogg
Snoop
smoked
been
in there.
The White House
He
I'm
said
just saying.
Snoop admitted on the 85 South show he smoked in the White House. So I mean,
Method Man was in there. I'm
that's
just
Snoop.
saying.
I mean, weed is legal at this point, so.
Yeah, but cocaine is not.
Cocaine is not.
And if they didn't found cocaine in the White House and they can't identify who it is, don't identify the people who sell it in the areas around the White House.
real.
either.
Right.
That's real.
Now let's talk about these monkeys.
Yes, you don't want to say the title? Envy? Monkeys are.
All right. Well, the
are
title
having
is
gay
"Monkeys
sex.
Are Having Gay Sex All the Time."
That,
Yes,
Envy
according-
don't like to
this is
talk about gay
actual-
sex in front of Chico, Ted.
we gotta wave the wood
Wait a
again,
minute.
Charlamagne. Wave the wood.
Whoa. Listen, I'm sick of this, man. Every time I come up here to Bunk Bed Brothers, y'all need to go ahead and just come out the closet, man.
We husbands.
Yeah, I know what y'all are, but y'all have been in the closet for too long, all right? We have the youth here. My daughter's here.
Oh, man.
Set an example for the youth and being free and who you are. Y'all
We are.
No, y'all not.
The
y'all,
real husbands in New York.
Nah, y'all have been the Bunk Bed Brothers for too many years, man. And then y'all done came with a story about gay monkey sex. Like, what is happening up here, man?
Are the gay monkeys doing cocaine?
I don't know.
What's going on?
Tess?
Yes, well, to Chico's point, the monkeys are living in their truth. And in light of Freaky Friday, I wanted to cover this story. According to researchers at the Imperial College London, male monkeys regularly have gay sex and are bisexual. The study found that same-sex sexual behavior among monkeys make them better friends and more likely to have each other's back in conflicts.
I'm sure.
They have each other back.
Is this why monkeys eat bananas? This how they've been flirting with each other all these years. Chico, that's crazy, Chico.
Well, Chico,
Findings
we have
suggest
actual audio of the gay monkeys.
Wait a minute, man.
I'm just joking.
Listen, one of the monkeys' name is Curious George. Okay.
But are they locked up?
By Curious George would be an amazing children's book.
I knew I was gonna have a hard
Curious
time getting the
George.
story out. Two more sentences. The findings suggest that same-sexual behaviors have evolved and become more common among primate reproduction, challenging beliefs that this is rare in non-humans. In other words, they're saying, it's a normal thing. If the monkeys are doing it, then humans are doing it. And so they found that 236 males, out of the 236 males they studied, 72% have had same-sex mounting.
I have a question though. Are they locked up? Is it just male monkeys, or do they have the option of to bang a female monkey? Because that matters, I think.
Yeah.
What does it matter? I mean, that would be if somebody in jail, or you saying situational?
Exactly.
Are you saying these monkeys are situational bisexual?
Situationally gay. Is there no female monkeys around?
Listen.
No, I would assume that if they're doing a study in this way, in order to be able to determine if they're going to pick the male, female would be around. That would be the assumption.
Okay.
With this, yeah.
If I created a
But
book
bottom line is
called
they're living in their truth.
If I created a book called By Curious George and it was a monkey on the front eating a banana looking seductive, how fast do you think Florida would ban it?
Sir, the fact that you can develop these thoughts so quickly is a problem, man.
He's monetizing.
Why is it so quick to come to your mind to just think of the stuff that you think of?
We have to. AI is on our ass, Chico.
No. Something else is on your ass. Something completely different is on your ass. Baby, I'm sorry. They didn't just ruin Boots from Door for you. You just used to love that monkey. Now I brought my child up here. Now we buy Curious George. And this is just, oh my goodness, man.
I can't wait to see Chico and his daughter having a car ride next week and she asking questions about the New York
No, not only that, what did you learn this summer when I went to New York?
Oh, yes.
I learned that
you might as
monkeys are
well.
gay,
You might as
monkeys
well.
are sex. I learned that Charlamagne rides the wood.
She definitely does. And he comes up with By Curious George book titles. And he has a book company, so I feel like he's going to do this.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yes, you would.
I probably would.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that is front page news.
Before we get out of here, I do want to give a shout out to everybody that donated. We did the story yesterday about the Molina family.
Yes.
That they were donating for her funeral services. And shout out to the Breakfast Club family for exceeding that goal. I think they're now at about 12,000. The goal was 10,000. They did that by 5 p.m. So definitely drop one of the clues bombs for the Breakfast Club family for pulling up and helping that family out. They said they appreciate it and they send their love.
Dope.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast, and follow her on Instagram and Twitter. And on the podcast, she discusses all of the things that we discussed on the Breakfast Club during the week in depth, man. So make sure you subscribe to that on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network.
All right.
How you gonna go deep on the gay monkey topic, Ted? I can't wait to tune in on that.
Man, because I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry that you have to deal with this type of stuff daily.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, I apologize, man. And Envy just over there just liking it, and he not saying nothing.
I thought it was
he over there quiet. He back there rubbing the back of his neck, thinking about by Curious George. And these dudes be looking each other in the eyes, man. I don't understand how the world doesn't see this, man. It's ridiculous up here, man. This makes no sense.
It is ridiculous. All right. Now, when we come back, TK Kirkland will be joining us. We're going to kick it with TK, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club on BET.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.